just a few days, we will be getting the July monthly awards program, and it has potential to be the best monthly awards program we've seen yet, with insane captains, insane cards in the packs, insane lightning diamond, and I'm excited for all of it, and these are my predictions you're going to see in today's video. If you enjoy, hit that like button and subscribe. Only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed, so if you could subscribe, that would mean a ton, so thank you so much. I also have to give a huge shout out to EDM Clean Cut Customs. He did every single card art, and including some stats for the lightning card, which we will not reveal yet, but he did some stats for the lightning card. Huge shout out to my guy. Go follow him on Twitter. Just go do it. He's insane. He's a monster. So we're gonna start leading things off with the captains, as it shows right here in the monthly awards program. And the first captain I'm going to be going with is Clayton Kershaw, another left-handed pitcher, interestingly enough. But if we get a Kershaw captain, that could be absolutely insane. That could really be a usable card using its own captain boost, and it would be really good. And I think we need another Kershaw card. I'm pretty sure he only has one, and it is behind an alter ego pack, so that will be getting phased out soon. And I don't know, I feel like we need a Kershaw card that's more obtainable, and I feel like this is a good opportunity to get one. And with a captain boost, I feel like it could play really well. And another one is not going to be as big of a household name, but it is going to be Yuli Gurriel, former Astro. He obviously, July, he's had some insane months in his career, and he's actually a really good hitter. He's going to have some good contact with some sneaky power as well. So he's going to be kind of similar to Charlie Blackmon. He's basically a right-handed Charlie Blackmon. Good hitter, not great defense, not great speed. He's just going to be a really good hitter. So that's basically going to wrap things up for the captains. As you can see, they kind of did things a little bit differently in this program here. A little bit more like spread out between the packs and everything. So we're basically just going to go in order from 95s to 96, 97s. We're not really going to go necessarily in a particular order following with the June monthly award program, because I have switched it up multiple times. But the first guy we're going to be going with is Kenta Maeda. He had a really underrated month, 1-1 with a 2.93 ERA. Obviously, a veteran guy who's been around for a while. He had a season high in strikeouts with 39 and slugging against with only a 389 slugging against. He had a really underrated month, and I feel like if the Twins were actually a good baseball team, maybe he would get some more wins under his belt, but the Twins suck. Even though they're in first place, they're the weirdest first place teams of all time. I swear they're a mess. But anyway, Kenta Maeda, he has a very strong case going for him, and he's one of those cards that you could see getting a diamond. He's one of those guys that you could see just getting a monthly awards diamond. So I'm going to go with Kenta Maeda here. The next card is going to be J.P. Crawford. He had a really underrated month for the Mariners, as they're kind of on fire right now towards the end of the month. In his final 5 games of July, he led the American League in walks with 7 walks in the final 5 games. But he also batted a .340 with 3 home runs and 8 RBIs in the month of July. Obviously, the Mariners did not have a great July for the entire month, but they're starting to pick things up as of recently as they move in towards August prior to the trade deadline. So J.P. Crawford's going to be a guy down the stretch, and he's going to be really helpful. Now, this card is probably going to have really good contact and some sneaky right-handed pop with great defense and some solid speed over there. J.P. Crawford could be a very fun card to use. The next guy is going to be Alec Bohm from the Philadelphia Phillies. Season high in average walks and stolen bases in the month of July. About a .337 with 3 home runs and 18 RBIs. Obviously, the Phillies searching for another wild card spot. They are one of those teams right there, and Bohm is going to be one of the guys who can get them there. He's had a really underrated type career, in my opinion. He's former top prospect, and I feel like he's kind of getting there for the Phils. So the Phils obviously are going to need him a ton, and he's going to be extremely useful for them. So Alec Bohm going to be getting a card in the July monthly awards program. Next, we have Tristan Casas, who I think he was the American League Rookie of the Month. Anyway, he had a 60-minute streak in which he slashed 550, 640, and 1,300. So he was just insane during that time period. But he had an insane month overall. 7 home runs, 13 RBIs, batted 248, not the highest batting average. But, Tristan Casas is a good power bat for the Red Sox. And if the Red Sox are going to succeed, he's going to be one of those guys that needs to step it up. And he did step it up a ton in the month of July. So he's got a really solid case going for him in order to try and get a card in this program. Next is going to be Will Benson of the Cincinnati Reds. He also had a very good month. Another really good rookie. MLB top 5 amongst left fielders in doubles and slugging. About a 276, 4 home runs, 13 RBIs. He had a really good month, and he's got a really nice swing. I'm pretty sure he had a moment, a tops down moment, not this month, but last month, in which he had a clean freaking swing, and he had a walk-off bomb. So Will Benson, he could be a really interesting guy that they could add. He's got some pop, really good, sweet left-handed swing. I'd love to see him in the game. Another exciting member of Cincinnati Reds, because they are loaded with that. Next, from the Seattle Mariners, we got Matt Brash, who's kind of, he's going to try and kind of fill in the role as a closer for the Mariners, with Paul Sewell being trading. But he was not the closer in this month. He was top 12 relievers in holds and WAR. So he had eight holds, a 2.45 ERA throughout the month of July. Matt Brash, he's a pretty solid card. He throws pretty freaking hard. So he could be a really glitchy card in MLB The Show, and I would really like to see him. He's going to be one of those glitchy relief pitching cards, and with the boost of Clayton Kershaw, he could be dirty. He could be flat out dirty. So it'd be an exciting card to see. And next, all right, we're going to move on to our next group of players. That was all the 95s right there. We're moving into the 97s now, starting things off with Mickey Moniak from the Los Angeles Angels, former Phillies farmhand, /350, 381, and 525 with 28 hits during a 20-game hit streak. About a 309 in the month with 3 homers, 14 RBIs. He finally started to emerge as that prospect, that number 1 overall pick that he was all those years ago. And for the Angels, he's going to be something they need, especially if they want to make that playoff push like they're hoping, and they're not succeeding right now with it. But they need Moniak to succeed, and he's one of those guys that got them in the buyer's mindset. So Moniak, I think, can be an absolute stud, and he's going to be a glitchy card. He's going to have good pop, great contact, and he's going to have good defense and speed in center field. So Moniak would be a very, very solid card to have there. Moving on, next 97, we got Tanner Beebe. I think that's how you say his name. Struck out 6 or more batters in 4 of his 5 starts. Went 3-0 with a 1.78 ERA. Once again, the Guardians need to try and make a playoff push. They need to punch their way into the playoffs, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, he's gonna be a guy who's gonna step up. One of those guys in the young Guardians rotation, especially with Aaron Savali being traded. They're getting even younger, so they're extremely young rotation, and they have a ton of young studs in there. And he is one of them. And Tanner Beebe, he can just be an absolute stud. And I think he'd be really, really glitchy in game if they do end up adding him again with the Clayton Kershaw boost as well. With the next 97, we got former Seattle Mariner Paul Sewell, so we're going to give him a Mariners card. Top 10 amongst all leaders in saves and Ks per 9. 14.29 Ks per 9 in July. Had 7 saves with a 3.18 ERA and a 1.15 whip. Don't let that ERA deceive you. If relievers have one bad outing, their ERA is going to skyrocket. That's kind of how they roll. But overall, he had a really, really solid month. And I think Paul Sewell is obviously deserving of a card, but a 3-pitch mix player. I don't think he's going to play as well in the show, but he is deserving of a card. That Seattle Mariners bullpen was dirty until they just traded Sewell to the Diamondbacks. But, it is what it is. He is a very strong contender to get a card with the Mariners while not being on the Mariners, while being on the Diamondbacks. Anyway, next we got Steven Matz. A lot of people probably forgot he existed, but no, he's existing, and he is on the St. Louis Cardinals. And he had a really good month. 2-0 with a 2.17 ERA and allowed a 154 batting average against in 5 games started. He was just insane. He had a really good month. Obviously, that sinker ball in left-handed, he's been around like, it feels like forever he's been around. Steven Matz, obviously, been a little bit of a bright spot on a rough Cardinals team. So, hopefully he can provide some quality innings for them as they continue to go into that rebuilding type phase. So, Steven Matz, he had a great month, and I think he's deserving of a card. Next, we got the Met rookie sensation, Francisco Alvarez. Only has 1 card so far this year in the show, and that was a Future Stars in Set 1. So, now is a perfect opportunity to get him another card. Led leads catchers in home runs, on-base percentage, slugging, ISO, and WRC+. Had a 275 batting average, 8 home runs, 16 RBIs. He is a slugger. He is an absolute freaking slugger. He has insane pop, especially for a rookie. He's really settling in there for the Mets, and obviously they're going into a rebuilding phase. He's going to be a corner piece at catcher for them. So I expect him to make a huge difference in that catcher role for a long time to come. And finally, the final 97 is going to be Whit Merrifield. That had a 356 this month with 7 homers. He had a really, really underrated month. Top 2 among second basemen is home runs average and with a 997 OPS. Almost had an OPS of 1,000. He had a just insane month. Whit Merrifield is an absolute monster, and he's turning out to actually be, not as terrible as player as some people thought he was. But he's obviously looking a lot. This is just an insane month from Whit Merrifield. Overall, played really, really good. So, huge props to Whit Merrifield. I still think Gleyber Torres is better in my opinion because I'm a little biased. But whatever. Whit Merrifield, great month overall, deserving of a card 100%. And that is going to move into our 98. Starting things off, we have from the Houston Astros, Chas McCormick. Batted at 481. With a 588 slash 481, 588, and 926 with a 310 WRC plus and an 8-game hit streak in July. And overall in the month, batted 351 with 6 home runs, 23 RBIs. McCormick's going to have some really, really good pop. And he's one of those few guys that throws left, bats right. So he's going to have great contact, great pop, good vision as well, with some good defense and speed in center field. Going to be a very overall good, versatile player. And with that Yuli Gurriel boost, he's going to be even freaking better. Moving on, next we have Taylor Ward from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Collected 7 multi-hit games with a 623 slugging. Obviously, did not finish the entire month. He had an injury because Alek Manoah drilled him in the face like a complete douche. I'm kidding. But obviously, he had a really good month up until then. But 304, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs. I think he's deserving of a card. He did really, really good this month. A little bit unlikely he's going to get one because obviously he had that injury towards the end of the month and missed a good chunk of it. But he still had a really good month. 7 multi-hit games, especially in a short month like July with the All-Star break. He was a monster. He was finally starting to get into himself, then he got injured. A little bit unfortunate, but Taylor Ward could have a very, very good card if they decide to add him in this program. Next, we have Logan Gilbert. Struck out 7 in his first career complete game, in the month of July. A lot of Mariners in this program so far. 4-0 with a 2.76 ERA. Logan Gilbert is really turning into an absolute stud of a pitcher, and I could see him continuing this dominance in MLB The Show and getting this card right here that he's well deserving of. Next, we have Giovanni Gallegos. A name a lot of people forgot about, but top 5 amongst NL relievers in ERA, 6 holds and a .68 ERA. And a whip of .83. Overall, really good month. I don't think he's going to play as well in MLB The Show, but obviously he had a really good month. I think he's deserving of a card, absolutely. So Giovanni Gallegos, super exciting. I think he's deserving of a card in this program. Next, we have Bobby Witt Jr. Actually, this is the final card. The final card, we got Bobby Witt Jr. He's really starting to turn into that top prospect, especially in the month of July. Led shortstops in home runs, RBIs, and slugging. Batted 321 with 6 home runs and 21 RBIs. Just absolutely insane dominance from Bobby Witt Jr. He's really starting to come into his own, be a great defender, great speed. Obviously, he had that insane walk-off home run against Johan Duran as well. Actually, that might have been in August. I'm not even sure. Whatever. He's really starting to have a really good career, and he's really starting to become that power, speed, defense type of guy that everyone knew he could be. And finally, the Lightning card for the July Monthly Awards program is none other than Cody Bellinger. Led qualified hitters in batting average and WAR, getting hit in 16 out of 20 games. Batted 400 with 8 home runs and 24 RBIs. And EDM was kind enough to give us stats for this card. So even better, we get stats. 111, 116 contact, 121, 119 power, 94 vision, 81 discipline, and 110 clutch. Go along with 90 fielding, 94 arm strength, and 79 speed. If we got a Cody Bellinger card, I am at a loss for words, dude. Bellinger is one of the glitchiest cards that MLB The Show. He plays in so many different elements. He has such a beautiful, beautiful left-handed swing. If Cody Bellinger was a Lightning, I don't know what I'd do. He would have to go on my squad, and he would have to be there for such a long time. Bellinger's been absolutely insane this month, and he's very well deserving of this card as well. Honorable mention goes to Manny Machado. He could also probably get this Lightning card. It really depends on the direction SCS wants to go. But Cody Bellinger is my pick for the July Monthly Awards Lightning. Once again, a huge shout out to EDM Clean Cut Customs. Link in the description, link in the top of the comments. Go check him out. Obviously, go subscribe if you haven't already. Small percentage of my people who watch my videos are actually subscribed, so hit that sub button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, fellas.